of course, we need to turn it on and then it'll actually pick things up. So yeah, because we've got the extractor, we can wrap the biggest round bales. We can't do square bales. I didn't get that version of the extractor. I think I just set it to one-time drop. Oh, bye. But I don't, that's not a big worry. The extractor does work. You can use it on contracts, which is something Mrs. Osa and I did back on our farm in Farm Sim 19 in the early years. We had a couple of Valtreys running the farm and I was using the extractor as a wrapper. That was back in the days, whoops, when you could feed cows straight silage. Should turn up the noise, then I can hear the beeps. Reposition the camera. And not too shabby. Okay. Stop. Drop in another bale where I don't want it. So I'm thinking we should probably end up with about 12 bales on this field again. Seems to be a common number. Oops. No, stop. I suppose the advantage with dropping them on the hill is they will roll down to the bottom. So they're not going to be in the way of anything I left on the ground. I can definitely hear the tractor working. As I said, I think the 247 horsepower that we've got is really just enough for what we were missing on the 6S. Kind of this is really going to be quite a long-term tractor, I think, for us. Our next major purchases really need to be land, so we can actually expand the farm and get working on some stuff. sure if I can make that turn. Okay, that's kind of sorted that out and should get us. I just didn't think I was going to make that turn at all. $7,500 for grass. Go. Okay. Oh, I've got to fish my tea bag out of my tea. That would be a plan. There we go. Okay. At this point, we'll go and get those two sections that we didn't manage. And again, I can't now drive into the hedge because the wooden blocks are solid. So that's something that Cavalier changed. Apparently the old way where you could drive through the sticks in the hedge, when you cut them and made the hedge disappear, which is I can't remember who did it, but one of the farms in actually late 17. I didn't play it in 17. I moved on to it in 18, on 19, and played a little while on it. That was a mechanism that map maker used to remove hedges, where you could just chop down a piece of wood and it would eliminate half the hedge. Or he also had wire fences as well, where you could chop the fence posts down and they would disappear. Nice mechanism. But the problem is if you make non-collisions on the posts, then they disappear through the map, and if you chop down too many of them, they would cause lag spikes on your game save. So the new ones do not disappear, but if you do use the lumberjack mod, you can just chop them up until they're all gone. Frankly, I haven't found it really useful to retain them and sell them as wood, because yeah, it's more trouble than it's worth shipping them out to the lumber mill. Okay, so with that all done, I believe there's one at the top that needs to be moved. Go and get that. Oh, there's a patch there as well. Oops, turn it off. There. That's got rid of the incessant beeping. Okay, well, stab that. Oh. Yeah, I suddenly look down at the amount of grass we have picked up. 15,000. What? What happened to the baler? No, I've got bales spiked on the front of the tractor, which is 7,500 litres, which is why our grass numbers look so crazy. Okay, and we'll lift the pick up for now, And I'm going to park this in front of the cowshed. We can get back to rowing now that the ends are cleared. Remember, they said the sounds have been improved since Farm Sim 19, and it's not something I absolutely look for in a Farm Sim game, so long as a tractor sounds tractor-ish. I don't really mind if it's absolutely right, but sounds are really good on this, or at least this tractor. So, as I understand it, general consensus is grass rollers don't work on grass fields. Not as designed for base game. In the base game, a grass roller would give you a level of fertilization. It no longer does that. So, it may just be that... I mean, it might provide a yield bonus like a normal field roller does, but only for grass. But with all that, what you're actually looking at is, if we jump out here, so pH values drop by 0.25. If I go over here, oh no, I can't go over there. It's already mowed. There's nothing to see here. But it would tell us our potential yield and our actual yield. And what I'm feeling is you've still got the adders from having perfect pH, having perfect nitrogen. The bees probably still add to your yield. Mulching probably adds to your field. Rolling the field probably adds to your yield. But the downside on all of that is you've still got the maximum yield attainable on the field, which is based on the soil type. So if you're farming loam, then you can get up to a plus 125, or up to 120. No, not plus 125. Up to 125 yield over ideals. But that would seem to indicate that, well, if I do everything, add bees for potatoes and what have you, I still won't exceed 125. But maybe my adders have got me to the point where I am at 125, or I'm at 150, but I can't get more than 125, so that's where I'm stuck at. But the opposite of that is, well, maybe I can take the penalty. I didn't plough a field. It doesn't matter because I'm still getting 125% yield. think we're going to stab that bale. And so, it's kind of all, it balances itself out. So the whole worry about, using herbicide affects the yield. Well, if my yield's at 125 or at 150%, but the maximum I can get is 150, then taking a 15-point penalty for spraying weeds and using the spot and spray or the spot spray applicator so that I'm only spraying on the weeds, not on all of the crops, so I max out my environmental score. I'm still not taking a hit on the yield because we boosted our yield so much over what the soil can do that it just ends up as you're still at 125. At least that's currently my working theory. So this year I did not do herbicide, and basically, one of the problems with maximizing your environmental score is adding the spot spray, adding the crop sensors for nitrogen addition, adding the metering to your slurry tank, all costs quite significant amounts of money. And it's kind of like my argument of, I don't want to add GPS to a tractor that I am predominantly carting with. Currently this is the only tractor I have, but if this tractor remains my spraying tractor, for example, I'm probably going to want to put GPS on it. If I'm spending $300,000 on a new tractor, then adding $15,000 more for GPS isn't significant. If I'm paying $40,000 for a 100 horsepower tractor, then adding $15,000 for GPS, that's a significant cost that I don't know that it's a viable thing. If you're spraying with multiple tractors, then obviously having the attacher on your front 3-point while you're spraying as the crop sensor that attaches to the front 3-point is a thing. But again, only if you don't need the small tank on the front as well. We're using the attached sprayer, so there's a spray tank on the front and the sprayer on the back. Well, I've got no room for an attachable crop sensor. However, if you're potentially spraying with multiple of your tractors, then having the attachable one, left side on this is a little bit bugged, makes sense, because I can then, this tractor's available, I'll just go and attach the sensor and a sprayer to the back and we can go. But having crop sensors on every tractor, no. We'll make sure that we always spray with the tractor that has the crop sensors on. But spending something like $40,000 for the spot spray attacher, or sensors and attachers on the on a $20,000 sprayer, that's kind of a heavy cost. Self-propelled sprayer that's $300,000, $40,000 more for us, for spot spraying. Yeah, okay. I'm already spending $300,000. I haven't looked at contracts. Supposedly the contracts are somewhat fixed. I'm getting mixed messages from various people. Cavalier Roy said using the standard, I think it's the standard textures, does mean that contracts are a little bit more stable, but they're still somewhat bugged. If you use your own built-in textures, contracts are just completely messed up, and chances are you'll never see any. So we're still predominantly, if we go to contracts, only seeing mostly baling contracts. That one, not doing that one. Okay, borrowing equipment for that one is a bad plan because that Zerion can't fit a front mower. That's a better plan, although it is. That's a tedder. That's silage. There's 3 tedding contracts there. But I kind of want to make sure that I have my own supply of silage bales before I try and do any silage contracts, just in case I end up short again, because that was a bad thing. But again, I think if I borrow the equipment, then we can get around it. Okay, that kind of worked. Now this thing works on a diverging pair of windrows, but the problem is it raises the entire length simultaneously, so I can't approach, say, this block here and lower it. The front lowers and the back stays up, so I don't mess the headland row up. It's the downside to this one, and I'm missing bits on the right again. Oh, I don't need to lift it. So yeah, for the most part, we're only seeing baling contracts today. Cotton and sugarcane is now available in the crop map, or the crop calendar, at least on this map. I don't know that I've seen any sugarcane or cotton to harvest. We will not be doing either, even though it lets us. At least not until I see a Wikipedia entry that says, hey, they've just created a hybrid of cotton that can be planted in the UK. Then maybe we'll think about it. The bale and... Oh. There we go. Okay, I am guessing 2 more rows will do this one. And I just have to make sure that I am watching the bale fill. Or the baler fill out. are we doing? Oh, we're coming on 10 o'clock already. I think going to be a good plan to turn right here. Lift the rower and then get that all lined up. And off we go again. Now the other thought is I do still have 300,000 available loan that I could take out and buy those grass fields. The other thought is, rather than doing anything with them right away, is buy them towards the end of the year. Yeah, we can go up to 500,000. So crop calendar. Cotton and sugar cane are now a thing. Is there any on the map? No, and no. So none of the farmers have planted cotton or sugar cane. That's fine. Okay, I will put this away and we will get back on the baler and do the baling. If I get it up to the point where I mean, if I do buy those fields, possibly not right away, but it's May, June, maybe July, it would let me get one cut for money and then one for retaining hay and silage. Okay, there we go. There, what is the price? So I'm really looking, 52 is directly accessible from my yard. If I go to there, I can only find out there. Okay. If I go to there, farmland. Okay. So that is all silty clay. This one has a mixture, some silty clay, but it's also got loam and sandy loam. So we're going to get a fairly good yield out of this field, which is why I'm thinking you cut that, you turn it into arable land. That's crap, that's crap. So leaving those as grass fields is fine. This is for the most part grass, so poor yield. But that field there is currently a little bit expensive. 17 over market, 126,000. That wasn't the field I was thinking. That one there is also plus 17.7. That one there the same. So that's 139. That's 126. We could think about that one.